Welcome back to AM Sessions with your boy, Munir_Golf, your go-to podcast for inspiration, business insights, and the journey of entrepreneurship. Today, we're diving into a powerful and transformative topic, audaciousness. I can already feel the excitement going to this topic because it is something that you need. It is a tool that you need. It is a mindset you need to acquire in order to reach and to attain greatness. And listen to me carefully. If you do not attain greatness at the end of this journey, being the end of the season of this podcast, then you would have not done yourself justice, because we are all about achieving and attaining that. Being your greatest self and living up to every single expectation that you set for yourself. Audaciousness is all about being bold, daring, and fearless. It's the willingness to take risks, defy conventions, and push beyond your comfort zone to achieve greatness. Woo! Come on! I know you feel it. Now in this episode, we'll explore what it means to be audacious, share stories of audacious individuals, and give you practical tips to cultivate audaciousness in your own life. Now let's get started. To kick things off, let's define audaciousness. Audaciousness is characterized by a willingness to take surprisingly bold risks. It's not just about being brave. It's about challenging the status quo, pursuing the seemingly impossible, and doing so with confidence and determination. And confidence and determination do not come from you sucking your thumb or praying that everything goes right without having the facts. I think people need to differentiate the difference between taking risks that are uncalculated and calculated risks, which is something a lot of us fail in doing because of excitement. But also sometimes it's okay to be excited and step and take that leap of faith, because they say people like that are the biggest winners, but also the biggest losers. So you need to pick a struggle, literally, and decide which side of the journey or the story you're going to be playing at. Now think about these figures, or think about this figure, rather, who has dominated headlines, I don't know for how long now, who surprisingly smoked weed on Joe Rogan's show, Elon Musk, who dared to revolutionize the automotive and space industry. Now, this is not a dream that you wake up and decide to pursue without any background or experience in a particular field. But at the same time, I imagine this is something you dream from being a kid and feel very convicted, or feel the heavy conviction to pursue it. So in what I said, I'm basically trying to show you that even though you dream as a kid, it can take you a lifetime to achieve and succeed in that dream. But it doesn't mean it's not possible. And it does not mean it's not going to happen. But yeah, let me move on, because this episode is not about patience. It's about audaciousness. Audaciousness is the driving force behind many of the world's greatest achievements. Now, I want to share with you guys a personal story about a time when I had to be audacious and decided to start DYE Creative Agency. I mean, I myself almost doubted whether a small local agency could make a big impact. But I believed in the vision and took the leap of faith, embracing every challenge along the way. One of the boldest moves we made was pitching high stakes in projects that I never imagined I would find foot in. Still in the work in process, and I'm still believing that it's going to have a huge outcome. And listen, despite the risk of rejection, we went all in with a unique and innovative proposal. And I'm going to tell you one thing, audacity always pays off because it's not arrogance, but rather it's a confidence and boldness to stand for your conviction and prove that you are right by it. Now, yes, we are still in the journey of securing the contract, but I'm sure that once all of this is secured, it's definitely going to put us on the map. And it could never be easy, but I'm telling you, it is definitely worth every single moment. I have a couple of historical examples that maybe we could look into. Because, sometimes when we talk about these things, you'll be thinking, this person is just trying to be motivational. There's nothing to it. But you see, when life creates a pattern and proves in that pattern that people that did something like this are successful, there's no reason to doubt, because even the test of time proves that you can refine your goals and find success and prosperity in fulfilling these things. Now let's look at some historical examples of audaciousness that changed the world. Take the Wright brothers, for instance. Their audacious dream of powered flight seemed impossible at the time. Yet their relentless pursuit of that dream led to the first successful airplane flight, something that people would not imagine could exist, something that people could not imagine that could take them from point A to point B. And some of you need to realize that even in your corner, thinking something that might start off small, you are on the path of creating something bigger than yourself. But you need to understand that the motive is bigger than you. But what is important? The importance is in you starting, because if you don't, then it will never happen. The bigger picture will never happen. So you need to be audacious. Then there's your Steve Jobs, which we all know what he did. He transformed all of your lives, except mine. I'm sure I'm still one of the few people that are very happy in using a non-iOS device. But he transformed your lives by having an audacious vision of a technological piece that resonated so personally with someone that it could incite so much creativity and uniqueness out of them. He was the first person that literally made the world believe that a computer can build a relationship with a human. And this is the person that developed a PC before there was AI. So you can imagine the kind of drugs he was on. Now I'm joking. It definitely wasn't drugs. But you see, when you're riding high on your vision and you believe in yourself, audaciousness becomes a drug. Now these stories become that historical pattern. They become that past that reminds us that this leads to groundbreaking success. And listen, in creating this small thing that you think you're meant to carry over till this point, someone else is going to come with a bigger picture and innovate it further to reaches beyond your imagination. Because I am sure that Steve Jobs never imagined that Apple would be $1 trillion company today. But yeah, moving over from the historical facts, I'm going to give you guys the practical tips as I promised you. Things maybe that I think, and these are my two cents, don't come at me for it. This is just something I think can be very helpful for all of you, or most of you, in your lives. Now let's talk about how you can cultivate audaciousness in your own life. Here are a few practical tips. Number 1, Embrace failure. Understand that failure is a part of the journey, and each failure brings you one step closer to success. Literally, each no, each maybe, each I like your idea, but I don't have the money for it. That brings you closer to your success because it challenges you to become creative, to ask yourself questions. And that is the steps you take and gravitate to when creating and innovating a success within a product or a service. I can relate that to myself. I've been so held back in starting this agency that I literally became creative at every single step because the importance is us just moving forward. Number 2, take calculated risks. You knew that was going to be in my practical tips because I was so heavy on it. But yes, take calculated risks. Weigh the pros and cons, but don't be afraid to take the leap nonetheless. Don't be too much of a thinker, so much that you stagnate your ideas. Take that leap, but be sure, be confident in that leap. And the only way you can be confident in the leap is if it's backed by facts. Facts that have been proved or facts that you yourself can prove. And literally that's all that matters. Number 3, challenge the status quo. Don't settle for mediocrity. That is a very important statement. Too many of us create these visions. We build the infrastructure, the foundations for these dreams, and then just settle at a point where we find comfort. And that is the worst mistake you could ever do because you don't know where that dream is meant to take you. And one thing I love about a dream, it never comes to you in full. It never comes to you in full. You just get a segment of a dream. So you never know how it's going to happen, and you never know how it will unfold. Let me repeat that for those that didn't hear. You never know how it's going to happen, meaning you don't know the journey. You don't know how hard it's going to be. And you definitely don't know the outcome. You can only guess, you can only project, you can only, right? But you don't know how it's going to be. So don't ever settle for comfort. Don't settle for mediocrity. And always seek ways to innovate and improve. Be creative. Creativity is not just for creatives. But I feel like every single big decision in life forces you to be creative. Because one thing life has shown, especially speaking now to my generation, is that it does not bend over for you. It's not your women. And that is the most polite way I can put it. Because I need to be, user friendly. But life does not bend over for you, my guy. Or my girl. It just doesn't happen that way. So you need to always innovate and improve. Number 4, build a support network. Surround yourself with people who encourage and support your bold moves. Surround yourself with people that challenge you, that challenge your ideas, that challenge your opinions, that challenge every single thing of you. Because you see, those people that challenge that, they make you believe more in what you already know. But if you find people that are just okay with everything, you'll never know when you're stepping off. You'll never know when your idea doesn't make sense. You'll never know when this vision just is not calculative and just does not make sense. So you need a support network. And number 5, stay persistent. Audaciousness requires perseverance. So you need to keep pushing forward, even when it gets tough. That's the only way you can prove yourself. But you know what? I stuck out till the end. I would love to hear a couple of stories, 1 or 2 or 3, from one of you guys, because I really want us to be interactive in this journey. Because what I'm trying to build is a community of ambitious individuals that want to change the world within, which is themselves, and then impact the world without. Because in order to impact the world without, you need to be changed, to be transformed within. so that without, your impact reaches wider than what you could reach if you were not, this new being, this new person that expresses greatness. So I'm going to be waiting for y'all. Tell me about the bold moves you took. And if you're on your socials, if you're thinking about uploading something on your socials, please, let's put on a hashtag. Hashtag AM Sessions Audacious. Share your bold moves. Tell me about them. I'm all ears. I want us to grow. Later on a couple of episodes coming, I'm going to be telling you about the amazing opportunities I am securing for every single one who's been tuning in and following and loving and sharing this podcast. But that is all, ladies and gentlemen. And to wrap it up, remember, audaciousness is a powerful trait that can propel you to new heights. Whether you're starting a business, pursuing a dream, or challenging the norms, being audacious can make all the difference. I hope today's episode has inspired you to embrace your boldest self. And if you enjoyed this podcast, please subscribe, leave a review, and share it with others who might benefit. I'm very big on that. I don't like shoving things down people's throats. So if you find it beneficial, I know you know someone who this podcast will benefit. So share it with them. But anyway, stay tuned for our next episode where we'll discuss. You know I never tell what I'm going to discuss next, but stay tuned to know. Until next time, wow. Stay bold, stay daring, and keep pushing the boundaries. Love you loads.